Words have inexplicable power.
The power to sway the mind and soul.
And to walk truth incarnate itself for its own machinations.
Words, the template blade of time.
A person's last words convey meaning beyond our comprehension.
The final sword swung, the last arrow dropped.
A scream into the unknown, a plea to the heavens.
I would choose to make sweet, sweet departure.
What are our last words? The complete sentence to a story.
Embark with us, if you will, as we endeavor forwards.
To discover the true meaning of words and the stories they build.
And as you stare into the void, don't be afraid to ask.
Nec ultima verba.
Nec ultima verba.
Nec ultima verba.
Nec ultima verba.
Any last words?
Jay and Budgie have now died, and they're literally rolling around on the floor.
5.
And a lot has
4.
changed since the last time.
3.
I'm sorry. I was gonna roll.
2.
I'm sorry. No.
What?
No.
When I become Shadow Prime Minister through Jaden, we're fixing websites, goddammit.
Yeah, hashtag Calan for Prime Minister.
Killing for Prime Minister!
Budget will be with us occasionally whenever she feels like it.
I feel bad calling you budget. I feel bad.
Well, then stick with Budgie!
Yeah, Budgie. Yeah,
Budgie.
that's right. Budgie. Okay.
Budge
Yeah.
or budge?
Talk to Budgie on Tumblr.
Okay.
Follow us at
Giving us
ALW
a look.
I'm
Podcast.
resigning now.
Hello and welcome back to the Any Last Words podcast, the rerun. That's right, because we're running this all over again. We're going to turn over a fresh new leaf.
Woo.
I like leaves.
Me
Same.
too.
Yeah.
They're
Wow,
pretty cool.
that was quite something. This is great.
Do we have everyone here too? No, we don't.
We don't.
Come in.
In you get this over and done with.
Okay. Look, I know this is the rerun. We're meant to be kind of changing things up here,
On
getting our
time.
habits in order. Yes,
Yeah,
that
come
too.
on. We're meant to have artificial additives and flavouring now.
Look, I'm so sorry. I was suffering from this rare infectious disease called lumbago.
Why
Ew,
the
get
hell
away
are you
from
here?
me.
Why am I here? Oh, good. It's not cured. It's not. Infectious is a strong word. I would not use
Why
that.
did you use it? Infectious.
Well, when you think about it, what does it really mean to be infectious?
Like contagious. Like
A threat to society
yeah.
and my well-being.
Something that should be terminated.
Easily a pandemic could arrive.
You
Could
all
occur.
make excellent points.
We do. We're good at that.
What is lumbago?
Lower back pain.
Oh. I
That's
thought you made that up.
infectious.
Wait,
No, it's an actual.
why the fuck is that?
It's a thing.
It's a thing.
It is.
How
a
am I
thing.
gonna catch?
How do you catch that?
You don't. No, I was making that up.
Well, he's
It's not
just-
infectious.
You just have a compulsion to kick people in their lower back.
Oh, yeah,
and
exactly.
get Back pain.
Yeah.
Oh,
If I have to
that kind
suffer,
of
so
infection.
do all of you. Okay. Yeah.
Alright. Well, listeners,
Wow.
if you haven't noticed, we are one voice short
And also one
voice
more.
new.
and one new voice.
Yes.
So, hello, I'm Jay. Hope you guys are doing okay. In front of me is
Calan, who never learns to shut the fuck up. To my immediate right.
Hi. I'm Brandon.
yep, and in front of Brandon is
Budge.
it's Budget.
Budget. Budge,
Budget.
budgie.
So
Budgie,
you
Budget,
will have
Budgie.
noticed that our dear friend Jaden
Has passed, unfortunately. He got
to
hit
a different
by
project.
15 different buses consecutively. The first 14 took a real hit from it, like they didn't survive, but the last one, it had children on it. So obviously Jaden wasn't going to destroy the last bus. So he just he just succumbed. He'll come back in 3 days. He'll be fine.
So pretty much Jaden's going to be coming on, you know, whenever he feels like it. He's a busy man and he does a lot of important things
Yes.
that we can only dream of doing. So
I do dream of doing that.
And he's actually out there doing them right
Yeah.
now
He is
as we
right
speak.
now.
yeah, he's making his own charity and all that, you know, all
He
that
received
stuff.
an award for like young person of the year of the local area just
Yeah.
today.
Exactly.
Yep.
Yeah.
What
So
a
pretty
legend.
much on this podcast, your main hosts are going to be myself, Brandon, and Calan. Today we have and she'll be
Nice
popping in and oops. sorry, budget. Now I get to do it.
Yeah, now you understand how hard it is.
You understand how we
Budget
forget.
and
Yeah,
Jay
so
are
I'm
on
not
the
supposed to say
scene.
Budget's real name because
Should we
as
make
myself,
up our own names as well, Calan?
Should we? Okay, you'll be Calan and I'll be Brandon. All right.
Oh god.
that's worse than making up your own name.
That's worse.
okay.
But the viewers are going to be more confused than anything.
Yeah.
Almost.
Yeah.
Isn't that right, Brandon?
Yes, I do believe
Oh
that's
my
right,
God.
Calan.
I already hate this. Yeah, so Budget will be with us occasionally whenever she feels like it.
I feel bad calling you Budget. I feel bad.
Well, then stick with Budgie.
Yeah, Budgie. Yeah,
Budgie.
that's right, Budgie.
Yeah.
Okay.
Budge
Yeah.
or budge?
Yeah.
Budgie will be
Yeah.
returning with us
Call you
next
Budget.
week. Oh my god.
Bridget.
Bridget.
Yeah, dude, I'm the budget Jaden pretty
Yeah. Yeah, we got the Budget Jaden on the podcast.
God.
Yeah, she'll be
Oh,
here
no.
whenever. So if you love her, then stick around, because then you
Yeah.
never
Yeah,
know.
leave some comments
Yeah.
down below. You know, this,
Yeah.
this is
Tell us
being
if you
done
love her.
live.
Tell us if you hate her,
Exactly.
because then we can terminate her on the spot.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Like we did with Jaden.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, welcome back. So,
Yeah, welcome back to the podcast, everyone.
Little bit of a revamp.
Episode 5.
6.
Yeah.
No.
6. 5.
No, this is 5.
5.
65.
5. This
66.
is episode 5.
69.
72.
Episode 5.
And a lot has
4.
changed since the last time.
3.
I'm sorry. I was gonna roll.
2.
I'm sorry. No.
Okay, so Brandon is now also dead. By the way, if you feel like coming onto the podcast on a semi-regular basis to replace, Calan, just give us a call down below at this phone number, which will be at the bottom. Yeah,
69, 69, 69, 420.
420. Who's that?
Who is that?
Good question.
Newcomer?
It
Come in?
Might be. Come in, please.
Do I have to knock to get your guys' attention?
Oh.
Is that it?
It's okay, Calan, you're alright.
Okay.
no.
Well, alright.
Right.
But yes, a lot has changed since the
Yes.
last time we were here together.
Indeed.
We have new thumbnails
Woo!
credited to Jay.
Yes.
Thank you.
Absolutely carried.
Yes.
Not gonna lie.
Yeah, we're going for a new
Clickbaity approach.
clickbaity approach.
Yes.
We're being very transparent so you don't, ridicule us.
Yeah.
Just,
But they're hand drawn.
exactly.
Yeah.
Gorgeous.
So
Exactly.
there's going
I'm
to
in
be
love
one
with them.
little hand-drawn bit in each
A
thing
big
to make
little
us look
hand-drawn
nice, and then just PNGs.
They are beautiful,
Yep.
by the way. They
They
are
are.
awesome.
Thank
They're
you.
gorgeous.
I love it.
I'm in love with them.
Thank you.
They are. Don't undersell yourself.
And as well as our thumbnails, we also have little avatars too
Yes. Courtesy also of Jay.
of myself.
While you're at it, plug
Awesome.
yourself.
Really awesome.
All right. If you guys see what I do and you're like, that's kind of cool, you might like my Instagram page at ghosting_jolly.
Which is in the
Spelled
description.
How
It
it,
is in-
sounds.
Exactly how
Yeah.
it sounds, and if it's not, then whatever.
It's in the description.
Yeah, I do a lot of experimentation with styles, so don't expect one. But if you want to commission me for one style, then go for it. Money.
But Jay is an amazing artist. Do go check her out.
Yes.
I love all of her work, and she does do a lot of styles, and they all turn out amazing.
Exactly.
They get better every time.
Don't make me cry.
Don't make me! Don't make me make you! Oh no.
Just
yeah.
for our audiences, I guess. Budgie,
Yes.
would you like to introduce yourself a bit more?
It's a generic descriptor.
Yeah.
Who are you?
Very generically, I play games.
Sorry, I just
Yeah.
tried to pull her over to the mic, and I'm
It
so
just didn't-
weak.
It's okay.
It's so weak.
You want to
You
borrow
could
these?
have told me and I would have moved.
No,
No.
it's alright. I'll get my own.
Yeah. Games.
Games.
Yeah.
Wow.
Um,
Amazing.
I mean, I do have a life.
Really?
Yeah.
One of those
Wow.
rare ones that go to another school.
Yeah, I go to a gaming school. Imagine
That's
if
really
there was a
cool.
gaming school.
There
There
That would
probably
be-
is
is
out
in
there.
America, most likely.
Most likely.
But yeah.
I
I've
could
never
search
heard
it
of
up
one,
right
to be
now.
honest. Honestly, please do. That'd be kind of interesting
Yeah.
to hear
Yeah.
about.
Let me just go to my gamer school.
You're going to go to game school? See ya.
Study games at SAE. School of Gaming. Kalu.
What?
It's in another language.
Yeah.
School of Gaming. Well,
Well, you have your options set out in front
That's
of you. So
probably
yeah.
Finnish because
you
that's
dropped
really
your science
complex.
degree
It's
and
in
now
the
you
ACT.
can...
Yeah, I was
mind.
my science
It's not
degree.
Finnish.
Oh,
It's Australian.
yes, I do.
Oh,
It's
it's in
Finnish.
Finnish.
It's Finnish.
It's
I
in
got it
Finnish.
right.
Wow, you
Yeah.
actually got it right. The language. This is
Wow.
from
Woo.
Finland. That makes a lot of
Yes.
sense.
Okay,
actually.
alright, I'm gonna
Yeah.
go. I'm gonna go Finland.
Yep,
So,
Budgie
yes,
will now be going to Finland.
I'm going to Finland,
If you
guys.
liked her, well, no you don't.
No.
Alright.
No,
I don't
no.
have to anymore.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
So
yeah.
you're a gamer and...
And I'm currently going to study, hopefully, a Bachelor of Biotechnology. Currently doing an undergraduate degree of science.
That's
certificate.
pretty cool. It's very
pretty cool.
good.
Yes,
Mhm.
yes.
Yes.
Very cool.
Arguably the most technologically STEM-based degree here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we actually have a wide array of
Yeah.
fields here.
We didn't just all go engineer, make money.
Yeah,
Yeah.
or we didn't just be like, drop kick.
No, instead we just want to be broke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've got an
Yeah.
artist, an animator, and a journalist who's going to end up writing BuzzFeed articles.
as well as now an occasional scientist.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Budgie.
That's
is
at
gonna
least
be
got
the
a
only one.
future. You got a future in that because it's a growing.
It is.
It's
Yeah.
currently
guaranteed to
it
get a
is
job
going to be
here.
the future. So
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For us three to make any money, we
We're
have to go on
fucked.
the internet.
We're fucked.
This is
We're so screwed.
Honestly,
We're so screwed. I'm never getting a
I'm going
job.
to be
to be fair though,
150k
you
bucks
guys
in
are
debt.
actually really talented.
Yeah.
So I don't think you'll have a huge problem.
They're talented.
You're talented too.
Yeah, very
You're
talented.
a good writer.
You're an amazing writer.
Yeah, well, so can other people on the
I
internet.
can't
Well, so
Right.
can you.
I'm actually really bad at writing. Like I can't I can write reports, like scientific reports, but I can't do anything else.
That's
Well, as long as you can do your job, that's all
Yeah.
that matters.
That's all that matters.
Yeah. So
Sponsor?
today we've actually got a sponsor. That is
Wow.
correct, Budgie.
I love sponsors. Who's our sponsor?
Our sponsor today is Calan's Crop Circle Service.
Hello, I'm a shouty man, and I'm presenting to you Calan's Crop Circle Service. Do you need some crops circled in your life? We'll circle them.
Hot damn.
Brandon, have you ever needed to have a crop circled in your life?
No.
Good for you!
Oh.
But some of our listeners might need some circles in their crops in case they need to prove the existence of aliens.
Oh my god.
Or crop circlers.
Wow.
Or perhaps maybe they're extraordinarily rich and all of their friends fly in on helicopters over their crop fields out the front of their luxurious houses, and they needed some really decorative patterns out the front of their houses in
my
their
God.
fields.
How much?
$1 a stalk.
$1 a stalk. Okay,
On average, that comes out to a couple $1 million, which is pretty cheap, all things considered.
That.
Yeah.
True.
Because we don't do it the typical way where we just roll over the stalks. You know, we just cut each individual stalk with a pair of safety scissors. We've only got one pair of safety scissors. Are you guys okay? Just for our listeners' sakes, Jay and Budgie have now died, and they're literally rolling around on the floor and struggling to maintain stand. Like, what is wrong with you two? What happened? It wasn't that funny.
No!
Budgie is literally in pain on the floor. What happened?
I didn't even realize you got out of your seat.
She,
Oh my god, so,
what?
it's so disruptive, I'm so sorry.
What?
So pretty much, while we were doing that, because you know, we had a little blunder before, she mouthed to me, "You made my day," and I interpreted that as suck my dick. I typed it in on the document because I didn't want to say it.
Oh, I see that. Oh my god.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Did you get through the part?
We got through the part.
thank
You
God.
guys did. You guys were so out of it. You didn't even hear us do the bit.
It was a
Jesus.
I'm so
Oh my
sorry.
god.
Maybe I shouldn't be here.
Man, this is meant to be the rebranding of the Any Last Words podcast now with artificial additives and flavouring rated 9.72 stars on the interwebs on a reputable website on the internet.
God, I hope we didn't lose the sponsorship.
Oh, I hope so.
God.
Oh, no.
We kind of ruined the sponsorship.
We did a little bit. Calan's crop circle service may not be back after that one.
Oops.
Oh my
Then
god.
I'll be circling back anytime soon.
Oh, we'll have to go for Calan's crop square service, which is not quite as reputable.
Oh
That's
no,
kinda
look
sad.
what you guys
It is.
did.
Sorry, they're running out the door now.
Oh,
God
no.
damn.
Guys, come
The
back.
crops are running away.
Not the shouting man.
The shouting man is being carried by the crop circles.
He's got a pair of safety scissors and they're running off with it. The only pair of safety scissors they have.
Oh no.
Oh, no.
Well then,
No,
can I delete that foul message from the document?
Yes.
Oh
Yes, you may.
Just to be more clear,
Wait, no, no,
essentially,
take a
during
screenshot
that
of it.
segment, Budgie and Jay,
Jay.
they were just, communicating silently, and Jay misinterpreted Budgie to have said, "Suck my dick."
When in fact she did say, "You made my day," which is a lot more wholesome than what I
How
thought.
do you get "suck my dick"?
I don't know, but I did.
You're as bad as I am when it comes to actual hearing.
Yeah, see, I wouldn't do very well going deaf.
Yeah, just a little bit. You go around looking shocked at everyone. You said
She
what?
was so shocked at me. She was like,
I was so offended when I thought she said that to me.
Wow.
Right.
This
Talking
is the
about
quality.
shocking things.
Is it shocking?
I don't know. What's the news?
What's in the news? Jaden's gone. We discussed that, didn't we?
We
Yeah,
did.
we
We
did
did.
discuss that. Are we ready to move on to the B?
If you say segment,
Yes.
I'll fucking kill you.
You keep putting words in my mouth.
You're about to go on the next segment.
You're almost about to.
I was
maybe.
going to say
You
the
keep putting your
BCCCC.
I'll just introduce it rather than asking to introduce it.
Well, okay.
Please cut this out.
No.
Cut it out, Calan.
No.
I'll cut it out myself.
I mean, gotta have a good time
I'll do
sometimes,
it
you know?
myself.
Hey,
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 so
brother.
cool.
All right, then.
Ladies and gentlemen, introducing the BCCCC.
Whoop. Alrighty, ladies and gents, allow me to welcome you to Brandon's comprehensive, capricious, and capacious yet very casual cliched conversation, aka the BCCCCCCCCC for short.
This is my favourite part of the show.
Yeah!
Thank you very much. Thank
Live
you.
studio audience.
Thank you,
we
live
love
studio
you.
audience.
Alright, look, just for some context here, for our newly added host, Budgie, this show is all about talking about the finest tropes in media, as well as the most despised cliches. And today, we're going to be talking about...
My ex-wife.
You know what? Alrighty,
I didn't know you-
let's do this!
No, you've got notes. You haven't written
That's
anything
true.
on my ex-wife. We'll do that
You're
next
right.
week.
Fantastic. Okay. Alright, well today we're gonna just have a nice little chat about chosen ones.
Oh.
Whoa.
See, this...
Never Longbottom. I'm not wrong.
You're not wrong, but I don't know who that is.
Right, you have
Oh yeah, that's right. For our audio listeners who are just tuning in, because we might have a couple new ones, Brandon has not read or watched Harry Potter.
No.
He's all the better for it now because he's too late.
Yep.
He didn't join when it wasn't transphobic.
Basically, yeah. Alrighty, well, you see, this trope, a little bit iffy for me. I don't know how I feel about it. Sometimes it can be really good, sometimes it can be really crap. And just for some additional context, chosen ones often entail having some kind of predetermined destiny imposed onto a character. They are destined to be special, different, unique from everyone else, and that can be a bit weird sometimes, especially when that character is given no other personality traits aside from being special. If we're talking really good examples, let's talk about Avatar: The Last Airbender again.
Yes!
Woo!
So,
Celebratory cough.
Yes.
oh yeah.
Yes.
Sorry, I had to tickle my throat.
But yes,
Wow.
basically, Avatar: The Last Airbender, as always, is a perfect example of every single trope in media ever. But essentially, Aang, the main character of Avatar, is
If you
technically...
didn't know that, then that's on you.
Yeah. Shame. We're going to have an Avatar episode.
5 of them.
5 of them, probably. Yeah.
At least.
At least.
Yeah.
Exactly. But yeah. He is essentially a chosen one, having the destiny of facing the Fire Lord imposed onto him at a very young age of 12. And the
112.
100. Okay. Well, technically...
It was 12 first.
It was 12 first.
And then
12, and then he lived for 100 years, but he was taking a nap.
Yeah, that's actually very true.
That's a good nap.
It was a good nap.
Yeah.
100-year
It
nap.
was air conditioned.
That nap ended up shortening
Why
his
does that remind me
lifespan.
of Link?
Wait, no, are we just gonna brush over the fact he just said a shorter lifespan?
Yeah. It
What?
did.
How?
What?
Wasn't that a thing in Korra?
How do you mean?
Like, didn't he end up living a shorter life, technically? Like,
I mean, even Sokka died before he did.
did he?
I'm pretty sure he did.
Oh,
Well, Sokka was
I didn't
older,
know
so
Yeah.
true. Yeah, that
well,
makes sense.
te-
Only like 4 years
biologically
older.
older.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But still, either way, as always, the show deals with this struggle in an absolutely fantastic way. That is, rather than letting this destiny and the traits of his predecessors dictate his present actions, he finds a way to stay true to himself and become his own avatar. Hence, no, I can't say that, that's a spoiler.
God damn it.
It's okay.
The series is like almost a decade and a half
I know,
old.
but-
It's better than spoiling Avengers Endgame.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's...
That was 2 years ago, or
Yeah,
2.5, or
but,
3.
like, the
I
whole
don't know.
world saw the movie. Let's be real. Yeah, no.
I mean, some people haven't. They're just lazy and just don't bother catching up with the movie, and they're just like, spoilers!
That's true.
True, and that's on them.
Yeah, it is on them. It's their fault.
But
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, you're not wrong. Though.
Hence,
like, Avatar
and then
does
major
execute
plot point.
the trope very well.
Yeah.
In that Aang, as a chosen one, he's an unwilling chosen one.
Yeah.
You can further divide the chosen one category in multiple ways. Like you can jump into Mary Sueism or Gary Stewism, where yeah, Gary
Is that the
Stew
male
yeah,
one?
that's the
Oh,
male
okay.
counterpart
Fantastic.
of Mary Sueism, where the chosen one ends up being perfect. Korra. Yeah, which just essentially ruins their character even further. Like going for a chosen one plot line, it makes it very easy from a constructive standpoint, where it's a lot easier to linearly construct a story. But when you have a chosen one and then you try to complicate it by making them an unwilling one, where they're forced to inherit a legacy, rather than just like Harry Potter, where spontaneously he just becomes a chosen one. There's no inherent legacy attached to his name.
Yeah.
Aside from his baby child self, it's less constructive, I think, from an overall narrative perspective. And I also feel how they dealt with Aang is that he didn't feel like a chosen one because he still had to make a lot of those conscientious choices.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't that he was destined to do so, but he took it upon himself to do it. Because
But he
it
did
was
it his
like
way. He did it his way, and that's
exactly.
what made it so much better. That's where his uniqueness came from, not from being the avatar.
Rather than just being destined to defeat the big bad evil guy.
Yeah, he did it his way, and that's what made him so good. Now, for a garbage example.
Yeah, we love
Let's-
trash.
Let's talk about... Now, okay, this one drives me nuts. We did kind of touch on this, I think, a couple of episodes ago. Let's talk about the Mulan remake. Okay, so
Yuck.
let's start this on a high note. What made the original so good was not only the substantial amount of engaging characters and songs and the actual heart in the whole film, but also the fact that Mulan herself was actually a great character.
She was.
Yeah, her whole story is about struggle and fighting for the people she cares about, self-discovery, all that great stuff. That's what makes her so special and unique. Because she goes from this clumsy and kind of directionless character to...
Non-conformative as well.
Yeah. Into an absolute
Fucking badass.
Yes, thank you. That's why I need the bleep.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it sends the message that no matter who you are and what circumstances you're in or have come from, given enough resolve, you can achieve anything. And that's what makes it such a good film. The remake ruins this message by having Mulan be an absolute bad
Ass.
from the very beginning.
It does, yeah.
Okay, so the other night I started watching it, because
For
I
research.
felt the need to.
You were compelled.
Yeah. I got 5 minutes into it, and I gave up.
Yeah.
In that first 5 minutes, they had a child Mulan dancing around the entire city, doing backflips and all this cool stuff, almost without any emotion whatsoever. And that alone was enough to stop me from watching this movie. Because they made her a chosen one, technically, by having her be this absolutely special character from birth, having no flaws whatsoever, a Mary Sue.
A Mary Sue.
Yeah.
We love this term here on the Any Last Words podcast.
Exactly.
We need some more Gary Stews, but they're not as common.
No.
Yeah.
Fortunately.
Yeah.
We need less of these Mary Sues, though, because
We need just less of them all.
Yeah. It destroys what made the original so good. It takes Mulan and stops her from being an actually good character.
It removes the effort and sacrifice that came with that whole training sequence.
Exactly. Amazing training sequence.
I know.
Yeah.
Which had its own musical number to it.
About being a man. And she was a woman also.
And then outperforming men.
Exactly. It was
So
so
like,
good.
everyone can get behind it.
Yeah.
It's one of my favourite songs, if not my favourite song of all time from Disney.
Yeah. Unironically, I really enjoyed that song.
I do.
Even though it's silly.
The original
obviously.
Mulan
Yeah.
is probably my favourite Disney movie, period.
Oh yeah, definitely. But the remake, oh my god, even like, yeah, of course it sucks because it doesn't have any good music. It doesn't have any of the good characters. But just at the core of it, it loses that main message of no matter who you are or where you come from, you can do whatever you want to do if you put enough work. And the remake, it destroys that. It makes people... It would send the message instead that you have to be born special to do something good. Yeah. And that really just sucks. And I'm not going to watch the rest of that movie, even though I got 5 minutes into it only. It's not worth it.
That's fair.
No.
Yeah. Because I've heard synopses for ages
Which
now.
is good enough.
Yeah.
You know, there are like actually like good films that you know, they're born like Thor. How like he's the chosen one because he has this stunt and he's like, automatically a badass.
Yeah.
But then he loses that power.
Yeah.
You know, like
It's a humbling kind of
it's
experience.
a humbling.
Yeah.
Like those kind of movies, like you start off badass and then you lose the power and then become badass again.
Yeah.
I think that's an important. I think that's an important part of any hero or someone that's going to be like great.
Yeah.
They need to be able to show some normality for the everyman.
Yeah.
So audience members can actually empathize and see themselves in that character, therefore have an attachment and root for them. That's how you make a likable characters to make them somewhat like you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is what these companies keep forgetting.
Hollywood.
Yeah.
Hollywood.
Hollywood. Money.
Oh, yeah.
People
Money.
who only care about money, they keep forgetting that. They were probably a nobody at one stage.
Yeah.
Some of them were just daddy's special boy with money.
Exactly.
A lot of money.
A lot of money.
Yeah.
Smaller than $10 million.
Yeah, but when you remove that, you remove any proper likability, especially if you're going to change core aspects, like removing the dragon dude, Mushu,
Yeah.
and completely changing it to be more realistic. If you don't keep that realistic element of the actual character themselves working their ass off to actually become great, what do you have? It's just a cruddy film that's just obviously there for money.
Yeah. And then you've got to imagine as well, you've got children as your audience. They're going to see this and they're going to think, hey, I can't do that. I'm never going to be able to do that because she was born that way.
Yeah.
Or on the flip side, they're going to say, the only way that I can be great is if I spontaneously become great.
Yeah.
If someone comes down to me with a fucking silver tray and gives me powers
There's
beyond
no
belief.
fucking eureka moment.
It definitely
And
also
that's not real.
reflects, with like kind of like how like not like like with power like with school. How like they're perfectly smart. I can't do that.
Yeah.
But like they forget about like you can study and you can like just be have better knowledge and keep practicing and everything.
No one's
And
born with
Einstein
knowledge.
said something along the lines, if I do recall, everyone's a genius, but if you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, then it'll think itself stupid for its entire life.
Yeah.
Yeah, like everyone has their own special in some way, whatever the hell that may be. But like certainly restricting ourselves to a lot of these social norms when it comes to the education system, but also what's being portrayed in media, that just really takes a toll on society. Which is why I think we should all do marijuana and just forget all our problems.
I think especially in the digital age, since we are so accustomed to being able to watch shows, TV shows, movies at the touch of a button, a few flicks. It's important, even though it's a lot of escapism. A lot of people learn through these movies.
Yes, they
Not
do.
only how to be a good person, how to identify bad things. It's like when you read a book,
Yeah.
but just, a little less
Yeah.
educational.
People base their moral
Yeah.
compass off of what they see.
Exactly. And if you're going to
inherit.
be constantly throwing in their face the wrong, the wrong morals,
Yeah.
the wrong story, then we're going to have a generation of people
Of Mary Sue's.
people who
and
think
Gary Stews.
of Mary Sue's and Gary Stews who don't know how to function or who don't believe in themselves.
Yeah.
So
We're
what
already
boomers
in-
think that millennials are.
Yeah, pretty much we're going to
Yeah.
become what boomers think we are.
Yeah.
And it's just
Sucks.
we're already in a pretty pessimistic time. We're filled
Yeah.
every turn you see is something bad. If we don't have any sense of hope, we're just going to crumble.
Yeah.
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 And everything in this contemporary society is about like what you contribute and how successful you are, despite the fact that, I mean, compared to, like the 60s, 40s, education rates are through the roof. Like back then it was maybe 20% of society had even had an education. And now it's upwards of like 95% to 99% who have gone through high school education and shit. And we're much worse off. Economically, it's almost societally impossible for everyone to succeed, and yet we're still pushing those standards in our media and just in general in like a societal scope. Which is why, once again, I think we should all just do marijuana and just
Oh
forget all
my
of our
God.
problems.
This is why capitalism sucks.
It is
Yeah.
socialism, free weed. Thank you, Joe Biden. You're not a socialist, but be nice.
Yeah. But all in all, it just sucks how they managed to ruin a remake of a 22-year-old film that's based on a myth that's like thousands of years old. And, they're trying to push for that whole feminist
Yes.
movement as
Yeah.
well. But at the same time, the original did a better job of that, and it didn't
Yeah.
even
Which
mean
is
to.
hilarious,
Yeah.
in my opinion.
And they managed to screw up this new one in it. God, I hate it so much. But yeah.
Would you say like other than the characterization, would it be better, like the movie like itself? Is it good? But like, would you say that the
Well, it's only
Mulan's
seen
character?
5 minutes of
Well,
it.
I've
yeah.
seen 5 minutes, so I'm probably not the best person to judge, but
Yeah.
the it's Disney's characters is part of the reason why their movies
Yeah.
are good,
Yeah.
because they're likable, they're
Disney films are
interesting.
character-based films.
Yeah.
It's not so much about the plot. It's about
Yeah.
how like the plot and the characters' decisions and their
Yeah.
archetypes and whatnot reveal what kind of a person and the developments that they go through.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
Moana wasn't really
Moana.
about the world ending because global warming. It was really about like Moana and Maui's individual stories and
Yeah.
coming up into their own age and whatnot.
Yeah.
With a subplot of the world will end if we don't give the big lady a big rock.
That was just
Yeah.
kind of there to move the story
Yeah.
forward
Yeah.
for them, and so they could discover themselves.
Yeah.
But yeah, even Doctor Who did a very similar thing to the Mulan remake with one of its most recent episodes. They kind of turned the Doctor into a
Mary Sue.
Mary Sue of sorts by introducing this concept called the Timeless Child, which basically makes the Doctor this kind of immortal demigod-esque character. When originally the intended backstory was that they were just some kind of random traveler from space who decided to help people for the sake of helping
Because
people.
the Timeless Child even existed in the original, like the black and white television series back in
Yeah.
the day, and that was like an interesting plot line which they were going for. It was like a misfit kind of escapading time traveler whose identity was unbeknownst, but then it was alluded that it was the Doctor, and everyone's like, "What?"
I don't know. I don't like the fact that they made the Doctor this kind of important, super demigod-esque character, because that kind of detracts from, the idea that you can go from nothing to being someone incredibly important. And
It's more like the Doctor's meant to be more about the implications of your choices and
Yeah.
actions. The Doctor's always got that internal fight of choosing to do the right thing, no matter how difficult it is, no matter their circumstances, even when they're brought back down to a mortal plane,
Yeah.
or they know that this will inevitably kill them. They make that choice anyways. There's a lot of self-sacrifice,
Yeah.
but that just kind of detracts from that almost entirely, realistically. The show was bad enough, but then they just
They had
gave
to-
zero stakes to the character whatsoever.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
became more so just about giving that shock in the moment rather than actually having any substance, because then the following episode, which was recently the New Year's special, they tried to build off of it by like, I just learned this really crazy thing about myself, and then in less than 5 minutes she kind of forgets about it and is like,
Becomes
you're
completely
right.
irrelevant.
Yeah, it doesn't even matter anymore. And I bet you in the next season of Doctor Who they're not going to mention it once.
Damn
bet.
straight, I doubt it.
If they do, okay, hats off to you. You actually are
You
going forward with
remembered
this
and you
idea.
cared.
Yeah.
But let's be honest, some of us would rather forget.
Yep, I would
Yeah.
rather forget. But yeah, that's Doctor Who for another time.
We'll do another
Anyways.
3-parter for that.
Yeah, why
Yeah.
not?
Yeah.
But yeah, all in all, Chosen Ones. It's an okay trope. You know, it just depends on how it's used, when it's
How
used.
it's executed.
That
why.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
6 out of 10. Yeah, we'll give scores to these things. 6 out of
Why
10.
not?
Yeah, why
6
not?
C's.
6 C's. Yeah, there we go. Yes, that's a good idea
Yeah.
actually. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. It's just nice to have characters that go from nobodies.
To somebody.
Yeah. That's
Some
just,
realistic
through their
elements
choices.
Yeah.
of development.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's a lot more nicer that way. But yeah.
Yes.
So that's Chosen Ones.
It
Thank
is.
you for listening.
That was BCCCC.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Wrong one. Wrong one. My bad. Okay, no, never mind. Anyways,
Just
moving
ditch
on.
that.
That
Yep.
was wonderful.
Whew.
Yeah.
Cool beans.
I think it's only rightful that you lead us onwards for a little bit, Jay.
Right, so in my part, I wanted to talk about something that many Australians are gonna wanna. They're not gonna like me talking about it, but I'm gonna talk about it
Fucking
anyways.
cowards.
So on the 26th of January has very conflicting meanings in Australia. So obviously, I think the rightful name for it would be called Invasion Day, because significantly, it's when the first fleet arrived to Australia for colonization, and it was determined terra nullius, right?
Mm.
So a lot of other Australians call it Australia Day, and it's a day that they celebrate, you know, coming together as a nation and having a barbecue and stuff
Getting
like that,
fat.
getting fat, having a beer,
Yeah,
stuff like that. And you know, there's always been this debate going on for a long time about, is it right to call it Australia Day, or should we be acknowledging the history of this country and calling it Invasion Day? So just for anyone who wants to come at me, the day of mourning was on the 26th of January, and this happened in 35 odd years before it was called Australia Day. So if you want to come at me, try me. Anyways, we're not going to talk specifically about that, but so on this year, 2021, I attended the Invasion Day Sydney March, so the rally that was in Hyde Park. So even though we had COVID and, you know, the pandemic and restrictions and stuff, it was going to be a COVID-safe event, and, you know, when we went there, actually, Calan accompanied me to this one, which is very wonderful. They were very adamant about, you know, signing in, make sure you've, you know, put if you're coming so that they can track, you know, if there's any outbreaks.
They were very proactive about it.
They were
It was
extremely
great.
proactive. There were people handing out masks if you didn't have one. Sanitizer was everywhere. And this is how bad it could have gotten, is one of the ladies, or a few of them, we only saw one, were handing out these cards of contact information if you were to have trouble with the police. So that's how bad it could have gotten. That's how they foresaw that if we went along with the march, the police were going to really have a field day on us.
There were quite a lot of them too.
Yeah,
stationed
it was.
everywhere.
There was so many. We, my group, went down to like the back. Everyone was making sure they were socially distancing. We used the whole area of the park. It was completely safe. You know, there was obviously a couple of dinguses that got arrested because they weren't wearing masks.
We saw
and
one. He was
that's on them.
hilarious.
Yeah, we had one guy that was trying to interview people and he was just being a nuisance and he got arrested.
No.
Yeah, tackled to the ground on the concrete. Nearly got
Yeah.
curb stomped.
Really?
He actually almost got
Nice.
curb stomped. Yeah, and you know that's kind of on him, but I hope he's okay. Stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just
but
don't go
yeah,
harassing people.
just don't.
Especially on such a day like that, and such
Yeah.
an occasion when people can clearly tell that you're probably going to go for the exact opposite purpose of the day.
Yeah, he's definitely going to use that to make
Oh,
a
he's
bad
probably
light
written
of the
a
day.
blog about it.
Yeah, not that anyone cares, but
No.
yeah, but
Your
so in
podcast
the day,
sucks.
yeah,
Ours is better.
yeah, during the day. So what was going to happen was everyone would sit down, you know, socially distancing, and we would listen to people speak. So there was like the main organizers would come on and have their speech, and then, you know, we would get up and go into groups of 100 people. So there's probably going to be 500 plus groups of 100 people, which, you know, that kind of makes sense. And they go out periodically. And then, you know, we disperse after that. But what ended up happening Like, no one really knew this except for the organizers at first, but they started getting more people come up and speak. So people from the audience, because it's all about, you know, hearing our voices and stuff. So I thought that was really cool, that a lot of people had great things to say, and it was very emotional.
Profound stories.
A lot of profound stories, exactly. Yeah, it was really eye-opening, and like, there was even a lot of non-Indigenous people there as well, and that was just great to see that solidarity.
Meat shields.
Yeah. Honestly, that's kind of like a good thing, you know, like if they come at me, I'm like, look at this white guy with me. We're fine. Yeah, but what ended up happening, once we were done that, they told us, the organizers, that they made a agreement with the police that if we went through the rally or this kind of speaking part, like, you know, completely COVID safe, no problems, that they wouldn't do the march. And so it was revealed after that, you know, towards the end of the day, there was so much police, you know, intimidation that the safety concerns of the people attending the march was too high for them to actually go through with it. Like, it was insane. One path had about 50 or so, like, you know, 20 to 50 actual policemen just chilling there. You know,
guarded,
on the side.
like, armed and everything.
Yeah, they had their guns chilling there,
shit.
you know. It was actually really scary. Like, it was terrifying. Like, I went into that march knowing that I could get arrested. We were actually on our way out, because we had to, you know, disperse calmly. We saw a bus, and it was a police bus ready for a whole busload of protesters to get shoved in there and taken to jail.
Jesus.
Yeah, they
So-
were ready.
Yeah, Sydney was the only one that had that problem. Every other state and territory got to have their march and stuff, which is good to see. It's kind of unfair that we didn't, but I know there's a lot more people attending this one.
Yeah.
But, you know, I just think, like, what the hell?
Yeah, that's fair enough.
Yeah.
Like, I thought that it's just terrible that I have to go to one of these things and be scared that I could die.
Thanks, Gladys.
Thanks, Gladys. Yeah. So it's terrifying. And even as myself as an Aboriginal person, going out into the street and wearing anything that has like Aboriginal, like, you know, identification on it, like a flag or, you know, like art, I feel like I'm gonna get mugged as I walk by. And like, it's that bad. People like will come up to you and tell you that you are wrong to your face. They will tell you you don't exist. There are people in Australia that don't think Aboriginal people are valid. They don't think we should be excluding ourselves from the rest of us. So shut the fuck up.
It's disgusting how naive people are.
Yeah, and just because you want a day to get drunk and to have a party, we can do that any other day of the year. There's actually May 8th. That's something that's cool, because, you know, Mate. How cool is that?
That is such a good idea.
Right?
I know.
Right?
And the
We
day
could
wasn't
do
even
that.
always January 26th.
No.
Bob Hawke only introduced that like 1994.
Exactly. It was the day of mourning before that.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Mate, that's so cool.
How cool
It
is
is
that?
much
That would
cool.
make
So
so much.
much cool.
How
Yeah.
much more would that fit the
Yeah.
typical Australian kind of stereotype and, you know,
Was
our
it Bob Hawke?
culture?
Was it
Or what?
Howard?
It was. No, it probably wasn't
I
Howard.
think it was. Was it Howard?
I don't know.
Dude, we've changed prime ministers so much. It
Yeah,
doesn't
one of
even
them.
matter.
One of them
Yeah.
drowned or
An
disappeared.
old white man.
One of the old white men.
Actually, John Howard was the one that drowned.
Oh.
Well then.
Yeah, but like, it's just not fair that I can't celebrate that day as well. Like everyone
No,
else.
Bob Hawke drowned.
Yeah, Bob Hawkard
Who drowned?
was one of them. Who was it?
The guy. The
Harold
guy.
Holt.
Harold Holt.
Unretarded.
There we go.
I usually
drowned.
remember that one because that's the important one.
It is.
Because we named a swimming pool after him.
We did.
And a giraffe.
Yeah, like he drowned out in a fucking Victoria.
And we
near
never
Port
found his
Sea.
body.
Yeah, we never found the body. He was
Yeah.
just left out. He just went out into the ocean. He had like a huge Coast Guard presence and everything. He went out for a swim, got caught in a rip. He went around like a cliff face off to the side in the distance, and never seen again.
Yeah.
Present day, we name a swimming pool after him, the Harold Holt Leisure Centre.
That's how much we respect our prime ministers.
And a giraffe,
And
I think.
probably a giraffe.
Harold
Yeah.
the giraffe.
Healthy Harold.
Healthy Harold.
Yeah.
Oh my
He went
God.
around and told primary school kids how
Not
to
to do
get
drugs.
STDs and drugs and shit.
Well, no. Oh, God, no. God, my God. Primary school kids, Calan. It was about healthy eating.
And
Don't even
drugs.
tell her.
And drugs.
Or smoking.
I don't remember
Probably
that part.
smoking.
Great though.
Yeah,
I
Nutella's
love
really
Nutella.
good.
It is
Yeah.
great.
It's just pure chocolate.
It's hazelnut, thank you.
It's hazelnut. Hazelnut.
Basically chocolate.
Damn.
But
Yeah. But, you know, in summary, I want to celebrate it too, you fuckwits. So
Just for the right reasons. With the
yeah, you know, like it's not that hard to change the day. It's only been around
Really
for like
easy.
35 years or something. I don't know.
Barely.
Yeah. But that's my piece of the day. Please don't be a dick.
Yeah.
Respect people.
I exist.
Exactly.
Unfortunately
Living
for some
proof.
of you. Yeah, and for the other people, if you're like, I support the Aboriginal people, I don't think they should die. I like their culture, then that's not for you. Alright? If you're getting offended, then yes, it's for you. If you find a problem with what I'm saying, then fuck you. Please go read a book, educate yourself in this. I adore you. Please do it, because I'm sick of it.
Oh my god, Anzac Day was so long ago. Oh, just get over it.
Yeah.
That's my reply
It's
to that.
same kind of sentiment to what
that's a
what some
different
people
day.
tell me. Yeah. So, you know, non-Indigenous people who are, you know, you agree with me, thank you. Other people who don't, alright.
Get fucked.
You know, I can't,
Just leave.
just, yeah, go away.
Go.
We don't want
Yeah.
you.
Just dox yourself real quick.
Yeah.
Come over and have a
Put
chat.
put your name, your address, your social security number, your Medicare number.
Yep.
Put it
And
down
your
in the
credit
comments
card
below.
number and the 3
Yes.
numbers on the back.
Yeah,
Put it
let's
down
get those
below.
comments up.
And the expiration date.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, speaking about government, not really, but government.
The government. Our websites fucking suck. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
They really do. So I mean, as an individual who's going into full-time studying, and I haven't been asked to get a job because COVID's taking, you know, a bit of a toll on our society when it comes to employment and whatnot, I figured I may as well get some of those tax dollars back
Woo!
and just get it from the government for free, about $350 every fortnight. Yes, thank you, studio audience. And yeah, this is just like my experience. I mean, obviously there are many more scenarios where people do need government assistance funds and whatnot for much more serious scenarios than my own. I just need a bit of cash on the side because I like to sometimes eat Mackies. That'd be nice. But the process is so long and convoluted. I mean, you find that not just with like government institutes, but also like government-run institutes, which are like supported like universities and whatnot. Just a lot of in like online portals for .gov domains are the most shoddy run pieces of shit I've ever found.
That's so
I
bad.
had to like fucking call Centrelink because my middle name was too long and it wouldn't fit. And then the next day I had to call them again because the name of my course degree had the "and" symbol in it, and that wasn't recognized by the system as
What
an
the
actual
hell?
symbol. But like it auto-fills the course names, so it gives you the course with the symbol in it, and then you select it, and then it doesn't recognize it as a course.
Yeah.
And calling like the government systems like a Medicare and Centrelink and all that, you have to sit there on the phone for like 2 hours, and only during specific hours of the day, only on weekdays. And it was just the most backwards, convoluted thing I've ever seen, and it doesn't take very much to make a decent website. You know, there's a lot of standalone people who just make good websites on their own, just in their mum's basement.
You can do it on Google
Yeah,
Sites, which
exactly.
is free.
Google Sites, which is free. I
Or
mean, we
Wix
might not
or-
have Google if the fucking government screws that up.
But there's so many people that they could ask. There's like whole firms that are just dedicated to making websites for
Exactly.
businesses.
Yeah.
It's not that hard. And the problem is, it's in every single government organization.
It is.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
even in and I have like a relative who works in like child like out of home care kind of things, like casework. Their system is just terrible. Like it's really bad. It's like think of like the early 2000s websites.
I think the problem...
It's like that. And
yeah.
it's because it's they don't know how to update
It's
it
outdated.
properly.
Yeah, it's just
They
all
don't-
outdated.
It's
I think that's the
outdated
main
things
problem.
and it's
yeah.
terrible. It's like we're in 2021.
And I mean, that's kind of working with the government in a way, because I mean, we've seen the fucking shit that was done with RoboDebt and all that. The government doesn't want to pay people money.
Yeah.
I'm getting a lot of like, what the fuck is RoboDebt?
I mean, it's more like the government wants our money.
Yeah, essentially.
with all the
Like,
taxes and
just to
like,
be
yeah.
brief, like, I mean, you're gonna love this, but Scott Morrison, while he wasn't Prime Minister and he was involved in finances for some reason, he set up the RoboDebt plan, which is like a an attempt at streamlining people's taxes and whatnot when they're involved in like assisted, services and whatnot. But it ended up rounding up people's like taxes and whatnot, and essentially increasing their tax for the simple sake of a computer error. And that we're talking like billions of dollars stolen from average people.
Don't they then you just get a refund?
Well, that's the thing. They couldn't for the longest time. It wasn't discovered for like several years.
Because it obviously wasn't an accident. They did that on purpose. They're trying to take advantage of people so that they can feed their pockets.
That's more common than you'd think. Like,
it's not unheard of.
Even just recently, like with the bushfires. We're getting new ones in Perth now. Woo! But like last year's bushfires, just like for a certain locale area in New South Wales, thanks Gladys, $177 million was pledged to like rural communities. But all of that money only went to communities who were under liberal or like liberal government areas, which is essentially like exploitation and just favoritism. Because communities on an individual level, they affiliate with a different party depending on who's running that said area. And essentially, all that money was only going to people who's fringe with Gladys's party. Make sure to vote for the Liberals next time. And
how fucking absurd is that? Is that just because you disagree politically means that you get to die in a bushfire and lose all your shit because you're not with Liberals?
Entire communities are just completely desecrated because of that. You recall that community where like ScoMo turned up for a photo opportunity, forced a handshake with a pregnant woman who lost everything. That community, no money still. And he especially promised, for the cameras, a couple extra, dozen $1 million specifically for that community. None of that money.
Everything they do is just to look good.
It's a photo.
And they still can't even do that.
I mentioned that. Like under ScoMo, they've spent $1 billion purely on advertising. There's a reason why he's called Scotty from Marketing. He's there for a photo opportunity every time. He's the most incompetent man that I've seen in a very long time. And I know a lot of incompetent men.
It's not that hard to
looking
find
at you,
them.
Brandon. You're fine.
Thanks.
You're not incompetent.
Thanks. Exactly.
You're doing
you
animation.
could run this country better than ScoMo.
Even
That's
with
not
social
saying
anxiety.
Yes, definitely.
Yes. That got political really quickly.
That's
it did, but as it should. So,
basically, government websites kind of suck.
When I become Prime Minister through Jaden, we're going to...
Prime Minister?
Prime Minister? If anyone remembers that, what was it again? Oi, Mr. Prime Minister! From the Simpsons episode. Which is oddly fitting. They have him sitting on a dinghy out in the middle of the outback, just like floating in a river. Kind of feels a bit... It's got the ScoMo vibes with Hawaii.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. The Simpsons predicted Australian politics to a T. But yeah, when I become Shadow Prime Minister through Jaden, we're fixing websites, goddammit.
Yeah! Hashtag Calan for Prime Minister.
Calan for Prime Minister!
Not to be confused with Prime Minister, we mean the Prime
Minister!
With an R. Prime.
Prime Minister!
Prime Minister.
That's oddly good.
That's really good, Brandon.
Yes!
You found your
approval!
Brandon, you did such a good job.
If you think Brandon did a good job, write it down in the comments below.
Give
Brandon,
this man
you did
some
a great
praise.
job at that Aussie accent.
He needs to be praised.
He does.
Thank you. I can only say that, I guess, but yeah.
Oh well. Anyways. But yeah, there we have it.
Yes.
What's been on your mind recently, Budgie?
My mind.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Where is your mind?
Where is
Hey.
my mind? I mean, one day I woke up and saw the news
As you
about
Yep. Same.
the new Sonic series
Yes.
coming out. Gotta have some happy moment in this podcast,
That's
right?
very cool.
But yeah, so the Sega actually themselves.
Sega. Go on.
You know how there's like a new there was a Sonic movie, but it wasn't really Sega. It was more just
It was
a
film franchise.
Yeah, it was a film franchise. But this is actually Sega and some other companies working with Sega to make like a pretty much a TV series.
Yeah.
Kind of like Sonic Boom, and not a lot of people like Sonic Boom. I kind of liked it.
Yeah.
Like it had like
It
comedy.
was charming.
Yeah.
Yes,
It was charming.
I quite like it.
It's nice. But
Chili
this
dog.
is
Oh, that's the animated one, isn't it?
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, shit, that
They're
was
all
the
kind of animated.
It's good.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry, the 3D one.
3D. It's really. I think it's meant to be kind of like a Disney style.
Modeled.
like Disney
Yes.
model. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think
yeah.
I see that.
It's gonna be on Netflix.
Yes.
Yeah, and I'm very excited about that. Not till 2022, of course, but
No.
I am pretty
Still.
excited.
Time will
Yeah.
just go by
Yeah.
like that. Like
There's
you'll
been-
forget
yeah.
about it, and then it'll
Yeah.
turn up again. You're like, "Whoa, this is
Oh,
fucking
I
awesome!"
love it when
Yeah.
that happens.
I
I
know.
love it when I forget about things.
That got
Yeah.
me through the wait for like so many things.
Yeah.
Just forgetting about it even existing.
Yeah. Recently, there's been like a lot of like Sonic news, like especially
Yeah.
with Roger Craig, retiring as the voice actor, and
Had a good run.
yeah, good run. 10 years, like a decade,
Yeah,
pretty much.
that's
He's
good.
been voice acting.
Pretty much.
The rest have been like for like 5 years, so he went like double that.
Yeah.
And we also. Oh, I'm saying we.
We.
Oh, yes, I've developed this.
I was working on the latest film block, Sonic the Hedgehog.
We're Shannon the Hedgehog.
Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yeah. Also, new games because it's his 30th
Oh,
anniversary.
30 years. Woo!
Yeah, I'm excited for that
30
too.
years of fast hedgehog.
Yeah, so that's been on my mind recently.
Has been.
Something I'm looking forward to.
As you should.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brandon's just whispering games. He's just like
Just in general.
I love
games.
games too.
Yeah, just in general, games coming out this year, probably,
Yeah.
hopefully.
I mean,
maybe
now
not.
is the kind
Apparently,
of the year.
Breath of the Wild 2 should be coming out this year, I think.
That's what they said
Yeah.
about last year.
This
Yeah,
is, I mean,
And
To
we-
be fair though, they did the same with the first one.
They
They pushed
did.
it back, but honestly it was worth it. Because
The
they did it
first
so
one,
much better.
the first one faced a lot of development issues. I
delays
guess.
Yeah.
are necessary.
Because
Delays, yeah.
its engine is one of the most complex
It really
things
is.
Nintendo's ever made.
Wow.
It was,
doesn't say a lot.
yeah, I mean, because it was just all physics and that sort of stuff, and you got to get lots of talented coders for that sort of stuff. Because I think one of the stories was that whenever they would have a chest or Link appear in one area of the map, something in another area of the map would just blow up. Yeah, something would just happen, and they needed to figure out how
How
to
do we
stop
stop spontaneous death
that. Yeah,
from walking?
yeah. So now it's kind of like Skyrim, but better.
Maybe that was intentional. Maybe Link is just so powerful that when he steps
he
into a certain
basically
area, somewhere in
It's
the
like
world,
the butterfly
the
effect.
butterfly effect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You open a chest somewhere else blows up.
The glitches that people have found in that game are insane. They met because you can throw bombs around and stuff
Yeah.
like that. People have figured out how to spawn one bomb, then spawn another to blow
Yeah.
up that bomb, and then make that other bomb boost you forward.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
go flying.
Do you know
It's crazy.
Small Ant?
Small Ant,
Yeah, he does that. He just
Yeah.
he does it in every video. He's just like, all right, gotta go there. All right,
Off we
cool.
go.
Easy, yeah. He's a speedrunner for
Yeah,
context.
yeah,
by the way.
he's-
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so
Yeah.
cool,
It's,
actually.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm
And it's
pretty
so
sure-
cool to see people exploit games.
I know, and the whistle
creativity.
thing.
The whistle thing as well,
Yeah.
to make
Yeah.
you move faster.
You run so without using stamina, you can whistle and run at the same time.
Oh.
That
Without
feels
using stamina.
counterproductive. Like you're intentionally like blowing into something and running out of air,
Yeah.
but it keeps you running for longer.
So I don't know memes about it. It's like Breath of the Wild.
Oh, I quite like that.
It's really good.
Yeah.
Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
Another day.
I've gotten you into something, haven't I, Brandon?
Yes.
I did, and you don't regret any of it.
No,
This doesn't
no.
happen very often where Brandon takes someone's recommendation when it comes to like film and media. Like he'll take it and write it down in a list.
Oh,
But
the
it'll
list,
take a
the
couple
list is
months.
massive.
The list is
so long.
ginormous.
That's what she said.
Whoa! But
But
yeah, I finally got Brandon to watch something within maybe like a couple weeks of recommending it to him.
yes,
So
it's
go ahead, take it away.
a very good show called Parks and Recreation.
Yes.
Yes, and it's kind of like a spiritual successor to The Office, I guess, in terms of style and the kind of comedy they have. It's a lot of cringe.
It's certainly the archetype of
Yeah.
their structure and narrative direction.
It feels like a blend between The Office and Brooklyn Nine-Nine, actually.
Mm.
Like, now that I think about it, because it's got that kind of silly cartoonish humor from Brooklyn Nine-Nine mixed with the realistic cringe humor from The Office, which The
Yeah.
Office is a master at. But
It is.
yeah, Parks and Rec does a really good job of that, and it's so good. Every single moment of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You haven't quite finished it. You're up to what? Season 5?
Season 5, I
Yeah.
think I just... Oh, yeah. I can't spoil it, though, because it's a very nice moment. But, yeah.
Well, okay.
Spoilers.
So
I know.
there we go, everyone. We can't spoil this one either.
No, but
You just have to
Brandon's
take our
just
word
like
for
the
it.
kings of spoiling.
I'm conscious about it now. I'm trying
At
not
least
to
you're
spoil it.
conscious.
Just be like
That's
very
wonderful.
generic. Like talk about like just like the characters and what they produce, because once again, it's something very character based.
Yeah.
which is a totem of any decent story, I think, and especially in a serialized format.
Yeah, definitely.
So,
I mean, you got Chris Pratt as a main character, and he is absolutely hilarious. He
I would
basically
argue,
He was a good actor.
he
He is
plays
best.
a giant man-child.
Yeah, I feel like that is
Yeah.
where Chris Pratt shines.
Yeah.
And, like
Definitely.
Parks and Rec certainly aims towards him being literally like someone with the mind of an 8-year-old in the
Yeah.
body of a
30-year-old.
slightly overweight 30-year-old.
Wasn't he kind of like that in Guardians of the Galaxy?
But it's
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
on drugs.
Yeah.
Like he's literally a child who like,
Yeah.
hey, want to go play ball?
One of the most recent episodes I've watched is he gets his makeup done with a bunch of these kids.
Yeah, he's literally
Yeah,
like the kind of
it's
adult
so
who
funny.
like play with 8-year-olds at a park.
He went trick-or-treating with them. It was kind of cute.
That
but-
was really
That's kind of wholesome.
Yeah,
It is.
it is very
I was
nice.
about to say, what the fuck?
No, not like that.
yeah, no, I get
Yeah.
it.
They play it off like he's literally the office child.
Yeah.
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 And
Yeah.
he's the first to get married in the show.
Which is
Wow.
hilarious.
Yeah, that's
Wow.
also very
Yeah.
funny because
Well, there's some hope.
It's
his wife is...
it's wholesome though.
Yeah, it's so wholesome. Yeah, his
They
wife
do
is-
relationships in Parks and Recreation really well, which is something
that's
I
good.
appreciate for the format because they also allow characters to just be friends.
Mm.
Like, I mean, I don't
We
think
love
this is
that.
spoiling anything. But like Ron and Leslie,
I'm
who
so
are-
happy
I
they
know they're
haven't-
two of the most
yeah.
predominant characters who are practically antitheses of each other. They're like polar opposites almost, but then they're also some of the most well integrated and one of the best examples of a platonic friendship between a male and a female lead character.
Yep.
There's not even a single moment with romantic tones. You could tell, like in almost any other show with any other direction.
She thought about it though.
Yeah. You get what I mean? You can
Yeah,
think of it
yeah.
like in any other show with any other group of people, they would have been together for at least like a couple episodes.
It's very,
But
very
no,
well
they end
done.
up being very close workplace associates.
I think relationships in TV series and movies can either make or break a film.
They
Like
really
I
can.
know
Don't get me
when I go
started.
into
Don't
a
get me
movie,
started.
if it's the best movie I've ever seen, action is wonderful, humor is great. If there's a relationship that just comes out of nowhere, I will drop that show immediately and I will shit all over it.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because of a
I think
tokenism.
relationships is like the hardest, like a really hard concept to get around.
Yeah.
Because like you have to somehow like fit it in, and but
Yeah.
make it also like really like
It can't
kind of
yeah.
realistic.
Yeah.
It can't be too simple. It can't be too complex. It can't
Yeah.
be too messy either. It's
Yeah.
very finicky.
Yeah.
Is what
So
I've noticed.
sometimes they need to realize that you can just hint at something and just not have it.
Yeah, just let
'Cause
people
if
fill in
you
the gaps
can't do
themselves.
it, then don't do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Leave it. If you want to hint that there's something there,
Yeah.
then you do that. Do not put it in there. If you
Yeah.
can't write a relationship, do not write it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
God.
Oh, it
That was like
hurts
half
my
the charm
soul.
of media, where like people
Yeah.
can fill in the gaps themselves and like
Yes.
create from what's already been there.
Exactly. That's a big thing that happened with Voltron,
Whoop.
the show that should not be named, but Legendary Defender, like that one. The relationships really brought together a massive community, even though it was kind of toxic.
Very toxic.
Towards the end, they made some decisions about relationships that just should not have happened.
Really shouldn't have.
Just a lot of tokenism and just forced things that just came out of like nowhere, completely left field.
Yeah.
But that's a show that had great potential. Relationships got into it. Also, bad writing.
That
Dropped
A
it
lot of
immediately.
that sounds
Yeah.
very familiar to another show called Star versus the Forces of
Ooh.
Evil.
Yeah.
Yeah, which
Oh my god, that thing was just subplotted out the wazoo
Yeah.
with fucking relationships in a romantic context.
it drove me nuts.
It drove me I hated that so much.
It had a really great start.
It
The
started
first
out
season
great.
was amazing. Yeah. And then it kept feeding all these love triangles. There's several love triangles
Multiple.
going on at the same time.
And they
it
gave
just-
characters multiple love interests and shit
Yeah.
half the time. They just it was inconsistent between episodes. They practically had like fucking schizophrenia. They were jumping between love interests every other episode, it felt like.
Yeah.
It sucked so
That
bad.
seems to be a common thing with the animation genre.
Unfortunately.
It's
Yeah.
just
Trying
they
to
just can't
distinctify
write
it,
relationships. It even happened in Korra too, didn't it?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Don't get me
Was
started on
Netflixed.
Korra. I'm gonna.
Yeah.
Oh,
We're gonna have like 2 whole episodes dedicated to shitty on Korra.
yeah, because don't get me wrong. You know, I do think Korra has redeeming qualities, especially in the back half of it, like seasons 3 and 4. But those, the early relationship stuff drives me nuts. thinking about
They
it.
Netflixed it.
They
I mean,
Netflixed
that's essentially what they did.
Before
like,
Netflix was really
Yeah.
a thing, yeah. They Netflixed it. Yeah.
They did it first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was
They just
so
went
awful.
hardcore. Okay, this is for teenagers now. So
Teenagers
we're gonna
date
put-
each other all the time.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Love
I hate that
interests.
trope so much.
I know.
It's just, it's like they write shows about underage children, even though they're teenagers, and they kind of, I guess we do that stuff.
We speak for yourself.
Yeah.
Well, there's that stereotype that, it's very horny.
Yeah.
But they feel the need to explicitly and graphically write and show and film underage people
Cheeky things.
doing the do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like, what? What?
That's
In
the
what world is that
yeah,
okay?
The ethical side of it
Yeah.
gets weird,
Yeah,
especially.
if you can't
yeah.
do it if you shouldn't do it in IRL, you probably shouldn't do it here.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, and it's just because it's a film and it's adult actors that they can do this shit, and it's not. You
Just
can't.
really should not be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Weird.
Yeah.
It's really weird. Like they're kind of pedophilic, kind of lens and everything. It infiltrates a lot of media and it's disgusting.
And they're also not written that well anyway. So
They never
They
know.
really are
They
never
never
written
know.
well.
Yeah.
It's all weird.
Which, yeah. I mean, just by the sheer fact that it's even there, if you're not going to shit on it while having it there, like displaying that it is negative,
Yeah.
then it's already ruined. Like, that's just bad writing of its own accord because it's just there.
Yeah.
Honestly, relationships in fiction needs its own
It's called romance, John.
romance, whatever. It sucks. I haven't seen it done well in animation at all. Pretty
Yeah.
much. It's
I'm sure if we went searching, we could find an example.
yeah.
Yeah, but
still-
nothing in like popular mainstream media is there going to be
No.
an example of good romance done well in a not romance heavy genre.
even the
Well, I
last
mean, I would
Airbender-
argue. I mean, it's not good romance, but it's bad romance done well. BoJack Horseman certainly. Family Guy was that?
Lady Gaga.
Today's the scene. Oh no. What was that? Oh, okay then. I'm just dense. I didn't realize that was bad. Right. Okay,
Yeah.
but yeah, like I mean, shows like BoJack Horseman where they take like a satirical approach, or like a very heavy kind of realistic approach to things, so they display. I mean, both fairly good relationships, but they also display like how just how a bad relationship looks and just how that impacts people. They're very good with that, I would say. But yeah.
Still.
Yeah, I guess it's just like regular relationships, like trying to portray
can't-
a healthy one.
It just doesn't exist because
I don't know what that looks like.
Even the
in the
last
scope of the media, it
Airbender.
doesn't exist.
Even
Yeah.
the last Airbender, which
Yeah.
like it's cool.
They tried
but
to be.
It's not
they
much.
tried to not
it's
be
not,
too implicit
yeah.
about it.
Yeah.
Which you could appreciate.
They probably didn't have to at the end, but they kind of just did it because they wanted to.
Yeah, it didn't.
Or somebody pushed it.
There's probably an article out there with the artistic choice behind that and the
Yeah.
reasoning. Maybe they didn't.
Like, it
want
wasn't-
people
it's not
fucking
as
up their
bad.
sequel with
Yeah.
their own ships. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it wasn't terrible, like a terrible decision, but it did feel a bit strange. The little scene at the end,
I mean, it was just.
like it was there. I choose not to really focus on it.
It's not. Yeah, it's not even a big essential part of the story.
Which is
Yeah.
nice, I guess.
Yeah.
They didn't force it down your throat.
Unlike
They just acknowledged
everything
it, and
else.
then,
yeah.
Korra literally ends on that note.
Korra's
does,
weird though. We'll get into that another time though, because
Yeah.
that's a whole.
That'll be for its own dissing series.
Yeah.
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 Two-parter at least.
Yeah.
Got a lot of shit.
Well then.
Yeah.
Are we?
How do we feel?
We got minus that. It's kind of like just up to an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My voice cracked.
Thanks for coming.
Oh no!
Oh,
God.
God.
Yeah. Today's been a day, but yeah, this was a
I think that wraps up the end of the episode, guys.
Yeah.
rebranded version of the Any Last Words podcast now with artificial additives and flavoring.
Rebranded.
Exactly.
Rebranded.
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 Brandon.
Rebranded.
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 They got a new Brandon. Yes.
Woo.
You're not listening to the same Brandon that you heard in
No,
Yeah.
remember
episode
I got
one.
killed at the beginning, and now
Exactly,
then-
he's a
yeah.
clone.
Yeah.
Everything's
I'm
canonical.
Calan. Remember?
Yeah, I'm Brandon.
Yeah,
Alright.
exactly.
Yeah,
Let's not keep that up. That hurts my
Remember.
brain.
I forgot about
Small
it.
brain.
Small brain.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, if you guys want to check us out on social media, ALW Podcast everywhere.
Or our
We
link
do
tree.
have a Tumblr, but please don't follow it, actually.
Actually, follow it
sucks.
just to make Jay have to use it.
I don't want to go on Tumblr again. That scars
No,
me.
we'll put that on budget.
It's just like, oh god.
Oh, yeah.
We'll make Budgie
New
do
part of our podcast, you are now in charge of Tumblr.
Ha
So if you guys want to talk to us, talk to Budgie on
Oh,
Tumblr,
okay.
follow us at
I'm
giving
ALW
us a look.
I'm
Podcast.
resigning now.
No, she's not.
Just
She's
the
signed a
look on
contract.
Budgie's face is
No,
like,
I didn't
no.
sign I didn't sign any contract actually.
It's a verbal agreement and it's legal.
I didn't sign a contract either. Wait, fuck. We should sign contracts.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Anyways,
I ain't signing nothing.
anyways, if you guys liked anything that you heard in here, we'll have timestamps. You timestamp that, and you tell us, "Wow, this was really cool," or you tell us that was really bad. We will take your feedback into consideration.
Yeah, I should have been writing timestamps.
Yes. That's your
Actually, I
job,
don't have
and
the
that's
timer anyways.
that's your job when you're editing. So consider smashing that subscribe button and the like button. And there's one more thing that we have to ask ourselves.
Share this with your grandmother.
That's not a question.
It's a statement.
Yeah, but
But it's an
It's
implied question, like, will you share this with your grandmother?
Okay, yeah.
That's what you have to ask yourself, dear viewer.
Yeah.
Would you like to have the honor of
Yes.
saying
Yes.
Any last words?
Yes.
it? Thank you, everybody, for coming out. We'll see you next episode. Release 12 p.m. Sundays. Sydney time.
AEDT time.
Thank you. And we're done.